Ah, bollocks.
Okay, right. You've probably noticed that the video quality looks a wee bit better than it normally is, and it's because I'm actually using my phone. Now it's a hell of a lot easier using that than it is to sort of fanny about with the camera I normally use. So I'll probably be making videos going forwards using this thing because it's looks pretty good. Anyway, yep, this is a quick VR to Mr. Swifto. He is asking, do you prefer your video games to be realistic or completely unrealistic? Now, obviously there's two sides to this. From my opinion, video games are just that. They're a video game, they're a game. They should be fun, they shouldn't be serious. You certainly wouldn't want a video game that was going to be, I don't know, dealing with really, really shit things like, I don't know, cancer or depression, whatever. So yeah, you want to, when I play a video game, I want to be entertained. I want to be cheered up. I want to be able to take my mind. I mean, I use video games to take my mind off stuff. If I'm having a particularly shit day at work or whatever, there's nothing better, to unwind than to play a video game. Yeah, I mean, 99% of the video games that I play are completely fictional. They're utter nonsense. Pac-Man, a big yellow blob running around a maze, eating pills, getting chased with ghosts. Robotron could never exist in the real world. Well, possibly once these robots that everybody seems to be talking about, once these come to fruition, then possibly we will be able to have Robotron for real. But anyway, I'm completely going off topic. Why do I like games that are not realistic? Because I'm actually trying to figure out where should I be looking? I should be looking over there. Yeah, apologies, I'm not looking at the camera. Why do I like games that are not realistic? Because they let me do stuff that I couldn't normally do. I can fly. I mean, I don't know if anybody's played. Is it not Far Cry? What's that? Just Cause? Just Cause 3. I've watched a couple of my mates playing it, and hang on, I've got a dog wanting in. Right, in! Hurry up! Right, there's one dog, there's Arch. Right, go and lie down, son. Aye, Just Cause, is it 3 or 4? I don't know what one it is. I was watching my mate playing it, and it's mind blowing what you can do. I mean, you can fly, you can like jump out of planes, and you can fly and hover, glide and all that kind of nonsense. So yeah, video games allow you to do things that you couldn't normally do in real life. One of my favourite Xbox 360 games is, what's it called again? Crackdown, the original Crackdown. It was one of the sort of very early games that came out, and part of the reason that I enjoyed that so much is because you could just do ridiculous things. Once you kind of level up, once you get kind of a bit stronger, you can pick up cars, you can throw vehicles, you can kick cars and lorries off cliffs. You can just do ridiculous things. You can jump and climb buildings. Now, if I was only playing games that were real, I simply couldn't do that. So yeah, games, that are not realistic, they let you do things that you could never do in real life, like fly and, jump ridiculous heights, things like that. So I enjoy tons of games. Most of the games that I enjoy, could never exist in the real world. But, I do, I mean, a game like Grand Theft Auto 5, to my mind, it's just about the most realistic game that there has been so far. I mean, I'm not really up to speed on the sort of latest games in the PS4 and the Xbox, and possibly there's more realistic games. But stuff like Grand Theft Auto 5, the fact that you can drive a car, the fact that you can play 10-pin bowling, you can go upstairs, you can go into the bathroom, you can get dressed, you can whatever, you can do stuff that you could do in real life, and being able to do that in a video game is pretty cool. I mean, I've always one of the highlights video game wise for me was when, what do you call it, Project Gotham Racing 2 came out, and one of the tracks was, excuse me, I need to scratch my foot. One of the tracks was racing along Princess Street in Edinburgh, and you know, it's super realistic graphics, and that is bloody awesome. So being able to do something like that is pretty special. Um, so yeah, there's definitely there's two sides to that argument. Not so much an argument. There's definitely, I like my games to be fantasy, but then I also like realistic games as well. Where I don't like realism um, of games, and you know, certain games are guilty of it, where you're trying to pick, say like Tomb Raider or what do you call it, Resident Evil. If you're walking in real life, you don't have to think about where you're going to walk. You don't have to think about, I better not bang into that door. You automatically, your brain just takes over and you automatically go through the door. With these games, um, you've got to guide your way through a door, and sometimes you're trying to get through a door and you're banging into it, or else you're trying to pick something up and you find yourself going round in circles trying to pick something up. That's them sort of trying to make it too realistic, and because of that they've made it unrealistic, because you don't have to consciously think about, I'm going to pick up that box of ammo. You just bend down, you pick it up. You wouldn't faff about in real life going round and round in circles trying to pick it up. So these are two aspects, or one aspect to sort of real life games that I don't like. Yeah, but no, as far as realism in games, I think it's depends to what level you're taking it. I love the fact that I can do real life things like in Grand Theft Auto. I can, you know, drive a motorbike, steal a car, whatever. But I also like the fact that in, you know, video games they're an entertainment. They're there to, they exist purely for entertainment. And the fact that they can let me do stuff that I would never normally be able to do. I mean, you know, fantasy games like what do you call it, like Command and Conquer, things like that. Games like Populous, where you can actually build, you can be a sort of a god, and you know, build a world and rule over people. You know, I couldn't do that in real life. So yeah, fantasy is always going to be the main driver for me for video games. But depending, as long as it's done properly, realism in games can be good fun as well. So yeah, that is it. Short and brief, a bit like myself. As usual guys, thank you very much for watching.